This December will not be just another month, and many still don't see it coming. Prices keep rising, supply chains are starting to fail, and something as simple as going to the supermarket no longer feels the same as before, because the shelves are telling a different story. What's worrying is that the window to react is shrinking fast, and when people switch into panic mode, everything becomes more expensive, more scarce, and more chaotic in a matter of days, leaving many families cornered, while others, the ones who prepared ahead, will be able to breathe a little easier. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you 15 key foods you should have before the situation changes completely. Not out of fear, but out of intelligence. Because when the unexpected hits, the difference between struggling and staying calm usually comes down to simple decisions made in time. This content is informational and educational. It does not seek to create fear, but to help with better household planning and responsible consumption. Food number 15, pasta. Pasta is not just something you throw into a pot when you don't know what to cook. It's one of those simple foods that always delivers. It doesn't require rare ingredients, it doesn't need complicated techniques, and with just hot water, it turns into a filling, energy-giving meal that adapts to whatever you have on hand. It can be a complete dinner or a quick solution, but it almost always works, even when options are limited. Another advantage is that pasta knows how to wait. When stored properly, it can last a very long time without spoiling or losing quality, something that doesn't happen with many fresh foods. A couple of packages in the pantry can turn into many meals over weeks or months, helping stretch the budget. And here's the curious detail. Precisely because it's cheap, filling, and easy to use, it disappears quickly when there are mass purchases. Not out of fear, but because everyone knows it's useful. Having some pasta at home isn't overreacting, it's simply thinking logically. It's a basic, reliable, accessible food that can get you out of trouble more times than you imagine. Food number 14, honey. Honey isn't just something to sweeten tea or coffee. It's one of those simple foods that surprises you when you discover everything it can do. When stored properly, it can last for years and still be safe to consume, something very rare in the food world. It also provides quick energy thanks to its natural sugars, ideal for moments of fatigue, stress, or when the body needs a boost without complications. But its true value goes beyond energy. For centuries, it has been used to soothe sore throats, support the immune system, and even help with small wounds or burns. That's why having honey at home isn't just about taste, it's about usefulness. It's practical, versatile, and always ends up being useful when you need it most. Sometimes the most powerful things aren't the most expensive or modern, but the ones we already know and tend to underestimate. Food number 13, bottled water. Water is rarely at the center of our worries until it's gone, and when that happens, everything becomes uncomfortable very quickly. We're not just talking about drinking, but about something much more every day. Cooking, washing hands, cleaning food, or maintaining basic hygiene. In normal situations, we take for granted that water will always come out of the tap. But history shows that it only takes a serious problem, a natural disaster, a system failure, or an economic crisis for that access to stop being as secure as we think. When supply is affected, bottled water goes from being common to becoming highly sought after. Not because people panic without reason, but because it's practical, safe, and ready to use. Having some bottles stored isn't extreme or exaggerated, it's simply a sensible way to gain peace of mind. No one wants to end up rationing every drop just for basic daily tasks. The key is to prepare calmly in advance, not to react too late. When everyone rushes out at the same time, shelves empty and prices rise. Preparing ahead doesn't make you paranoid, it makes you prepared. A small stock of water today can make a huge difference tomorrow, and above all, it keeps you from relying on improvisation when all you want is to take care of your family and keep life as normal as possible. Food number 12. Wheat flour. Wheat flour seems simple, almost boring, but when you really think about it, it's one of those quiet products that solves more problems than you imagine. With a single bag, you can make homemade bread, tortillas, pancakes, or basic doughs without needing rare ingredients or special equipment. Knowing how to turn flour into food is a practical skill that brings peace of mind because it allows you to depend less on what is or isn't available at the supermarket. Used well, it goes a long way and can sustain a family for quite some time with simple but energy-rich meals. It's no coincidence that flour has been a pillar of human nutrition for generations. It's cheap, versatile, and easy to store when handled properly. That's why in times of high demand, it disappears quickly from shelves. People recognize its basic value. Having flour at home isn't exaggeration or fear, it's simply being practical. It's not flashy or modern, but it's one of those smart basics that give you flexibility and allow you to keep eating well no matter what happens. Food number 11. Canned beans. There are foods that go completely unnoticed at the supermarket until one day they make all the difference. Canned beans are one of them. They don't stand out, they're not trendy, but when routine breaks and fresh food starts to disappear, these simple cans become a true lifesaver. They provide protein, fiber, and essential minerals that help maintain energy, strength, and a feeling of fullness when meals become irregular. They're not a luxury, they're a solid foundation. The best thing about canned beans is their absolute practicality. No soaking, no hours of cooking, no dependence on electricity or gas. You open them and they're ready. That makes them incredibly useful when time, water, or fuel is limited. They can be eaten cold, combined with other basic foods, or heated if possible. That simplicity is exactly what makes them so reliable when things don't work as usual. They also last for years when stored properly and take up little space, allowing you to build a reserve without spending a fortune. That's why whenever there's uncertainty, canned goods are among the first to disappear from shelves. Not out of fear, but out of logic. Having some beans stored isn't overreacting or expecting the worst. It's a practical, intelligent, and responsible decision that gives you peace of mind and flexibility when access to food isn't as simple as it seems. Food number 10. Cereals. You might not think of them right away, but cereals are a hidden ace when it comes to having practical food at home. They don't require cooking, gas, or electricity. You eat them as they are, and they provide quick energy when your body asks for it. In moments when everything gets complicated, having simple, reliable foods makes a big difference. They also take up little space, are lightweight, and last a long time when stored properly, making them a logical and functional option for any well-planned pantry. But there's something just as important as nutrition: the feeling of normality. In stressful or uncomfortable situations, familiar foods help calm the mind, especially for children. That's why when people start buying in excess, cereals are often among the first products to disappear. Having them ahead of time isn't exaggeration, it's simply being practical. A quick, familiar, ready-to-eat option that can get you through tough moments when you need it most. Food number 9. Jam. Many people see jam as something secondary, almost decorative. But in reality, it's one of those small products that surprises you in difficult moments. It doesn't compete with rice or beans for importance, but it serves a different purpose, providing fast and easy energy when the body and mind are exhausted. Being essentially concentrated natural sugar, the body turns it into fuel almost immediately, which is useful during stress, fatigue, or when food options are limited. A couple of spoonfuls can make the difference between feeling drained and regaining some spark. But its value isn't only physical. When food becomes repetitive and boring, sweetness plays a very important emotional role. Eating the same thing over and over wears you down, especially in families with children. Something as simple as toast with jam can completely change the atmosphere of a meal. It stops being just eating out of necessity and becomes a comforting, familiar family moment. That small gesture helps keep morale high, and emotional stability is just as important as physical energy. Jam also has practical advantages that many underestimate. It lasts a long time, is easy to store, and improves almost any basic food, from bread and crackers to oats or rice. That's why it often sells out quickly when people start stockpiling. It's not about panic, it's about calm planning. Having 1 or 2 jars stored is simply an intelligent way to ensure quick energy, food variety, and a small reminder of normal life when it's needed most. Food number 8. Eggs. There's a humble food that almost everyone underestimates, but that in difficult situations can make the difference between coping and collapsing. Eggs aren't just cheap and common, they're a natural nutritional powerhouse. When the body is under pressure and every meal counts, eggs provide complete protein, healthy fats, and key vitamins like B12 and D, exactly what you need to maintain strength, energy, and defenses. In scenarios where diets often become heavy in flours and simple carbohydrates, a couple of eggs can turn a poor meal into a truly balanced one. Few foods also work in your favor creatively like eggs do. Boiled, fried, scrambled, mixed with rice, in soup, or even in homemade bread. The options feel endless. That versatility feeds not just the body, but the mind. Eating the same thing repeatedly wears you down, and being able to vary meals, even with little, lifts morale and motivation. A simple carton of eggs can become breakfasts, lunches, and dinners over several days. The big problem is that in any crisis, eggs are among the first things to disappear. They don't last forever like canned goods, so they quickly become a luxury when stores empty. That's where strategy comes in. Learning how to store them and acting in advance. From unwashed fresh eggs that last weeks, to traditional preservation methods or alternatives like powdered eggs. Preparing now means that when others no longer have access, your family will still have one of the most complete and valuable foods available. Subscribe for more free survival information. Food number 7. Chocolate. Many people see chocolate as an unnecessary treat, something bought on impulse and nothing more. But when the context changes and routine breaks, that craving turns into something much more serious. In an emergency, chocolate plays in a different league. It's compact, requires no preparation, and packs a lot of energy into a small space. Fats and sugars work together to give the body the immediate boost it needs when physical and mental fatigue pile up. In critical moments, there isn't always time or resources to cook, and that's when this food proves its real value. A small piece can help you keep going, improve concentration, and prevent that crash that leaves you without strength when you need it most. It's practical, portable, and extremely efficient. But its true power isn't just in the calories, it's in what it does to the mind. When everything around you is stress and uncertainty, that familiar taste can be the difference between giving up and pushing forward. Chocolate directly affects mood, lifts morale, provides a sense of normality, and helps maintain calm, something vital for making good decisions under pressure. That's why when a crisis approaches, it's often one of the first products to disappear from stores. People look for it instinctively. Preparing ahead and choosing varieties with high cocoa content isn't just about a sweet treat. It's about adding energy, emotional stability, and a quiet but powerful tool to endure when things get tough. Stay until the end, because these 6 foods are the most important. Food number 6. Olive oil. When we think about survival, almost no one imagines something as ordinary as olive oil. And that's the mistake. This common kitchen ingredient is actually a small, multifunctional gem. Beyond flavor, it concentrates pure energy in the form of healthy fats, exactly what the body needs when physical activity increases and food becomes scarce. Just 1 tablespoon provides valuable calories that help maintain strength, focus, and body temperature, preventing that energy crash that leaves you slow and vulnerable when you need to stay alert. But its value doesn't end with nutrition. Olive oil is incredibly versatile. It can be used to cook almost anything, improves nutrient absorption, and can even help preserve foods like vegetables or cheese when refrigeration isn't available. In simple situations like a power outage, it can even become an improvised lamp with a wick and a container, providing light and a sense of calm. Historically, it has also been used for basic skin care, especially when skin becomes dry or cracked, showing that it's not just food, but a practical tool. The key is understanding something simple. Useful, durable, versatile products are always the first to become scarce when supply chains are under stress. Olive oil has earned that reputation. Having it at home doesn't mean panicking or living in fear. It means being smart and prepared. It's not just a cooking fat, it's energy, support, comfort, and solutions in one bottle. A discreet but powerful resource that can make a big difference when it's needed most. Food number 5. Dehydrated and freeze-dried foods. If there's one element that separates improvisation from true preparation, it's dehydrated and freeze-dried foods. And it's no coincidence. The best part is that we're not talking about boring or last resort food. These products are surprisingly versatile and practical. Dried fruits can be eaten as they are, making perfect, quick, energy-rich snacks. Dehydrated vegetables come back to life with water and can be added to soups, rice, or stews. And complete freeze-dried meals, from breakfasts to hot, comforting dishes, only need hot water. When there's no electricity, refrigeration, or fresh options, being able to prepare varied and nutritious food becomes a huge advantage. Here's the part many people ignore. Those who prepare seriously always prioritize this type of food, and for good reason. When a crisis approaches, they're among the first products to disappear. Once panic buying starts, shelves empty and there's no turning back. Securing them ahead of time isn't exaggeration, it's strategy. Having them stored means peace of mind, independence, and the certainty that when others panic, you already thought one step ahead. Food number 4. Instant soup. There are foods most people underestimate until everything fails. Instant soup often gets dismissed as insignificant fast food, but in an emergency, it becomes pure gold. It's light, takes up almost no space, and can be prepared in minutes, even when you have no electricity, gas, or energy to cook something elaborate. In many cases, you only need hot water, and in extreme situations, not even that. When energy is limited and every movement counts, having a hot meal with minimal effort is a huge advantage. But it's not just convenience. Soup fulfills two vital functions at once: hydration and nourishment. In a crisis, it's easy to forget to drink water, and that's where a cup of soup makes the difference. It provides liquids, calories, and something even more important, a sense of normality. The warmth of hot soup calms, reduces anxiety, and lifts morale. In cold climates, it helps maintain body temperature and can prevent serious issues like hypothermia. For children, elderly people, or anyone under stress, that small ritual can be an emotional anchor in the middle of chaos. Now comes the part no one likes to hear. When things get bad, instant soup is one of the first products to disappear from shelves. It's cheap, long-lasting, and everyone understands its value at the same time. Too late. In panic situations, the soup aisle can empty in hours. That's why including several instant soups in your pantry isn't exaggeration, it's smart foresight. It's a minimal investment that can give you food, warmth, and peace of mind exactly when you need it most. Food number 3. Tea and herbal infusions. There are items most people see as a simple pleasure or small daily luxury until everything becomes complicated. Tea and herbal infusions fall right into that category. They don't feed you like a meal, but in difficult situations, they become far more valuable. Making a hot cup doesn't just hydrate and comfort the body, it sends a direct message to the brain: there is still control. That simple, almost automatic moment can make a big difference when stress, fear, and uncertainty start to tighten their grip. That seemingly insignificant ritual serves a huge psychological function. In the middle of chaos, repeating a familiar action helps calm nerves, organize thoughts, and reduce anxiety. And when the mind is clearer, decisions are better. This isn't a minor detail. A calm person thinks better, endures more, and can take better care of others. In extreme situations, mental strength isn't a luxury, it's a survival tool. The value doesn't stop there. Many infusions act like a natural first aid kit when pharmacies or doctors aren't accessible. Chamomile for rest, ginger for the stomach, mint for pain and nausea, green tea to support immunity. They're lightweight, last for years, cost little, but during a crisis they disappear quickly from shelves. Having them beforehand isn't exaggeration, it's anticipation. You're not buying a drink, you're securing warmth, calm, health, and stability when you'll need them most. Food number 2. Energy bars. When everything becomes complicated and the body starts asking for energy, there's a silent hero almost no one takes seriously. The energy bar. Small, discreet, and seemingly simple, but designed with almost surgical precision. Inside are concentrated calories, quick energy, and key nutrients the body needs when stress, fatigue, or uncertainty take over. It's not just food, it's immediate fuel for the mind and body when normal meals disappear or become unpredictable. In critical moments, eating well doesn't always mean eating a lot, it means eating smart. Before revealing number 1, share this information with your family. Food number 1. Potatoes. When everything fails and food becomes scarce, there's a silent protagonist that always shows up to save the day. The potato isn't glamorous or modern, but it has been humanity's backup plan for centuries. Wars, famines, and economic crises all have something in common. When almost nothing is left, this tuber is still there. The reason is simple. It provides a huge amount of energy in the form of calories and carbohydrates, exactly what the body needs to keep functioning when the environment becomes hostile. Beyond nourishment, potatoes comfort, fill the stomach, stabilize energy levels, and create a psychological sense of security that is priceless in hard times. They're cheap, highly efficient, and allow you to feed several people without emptying the pantry. When the body is strong and the mind is calm, better decisions are made, and few foods achieve that balance like potatoes do, especially during physically demanding days. But their greatest superpower is versatility. Boiled, baked, roasted, fried, mashed, in soups or stews, they always work. They pair with almost anything you might have stored, from canned goods to dried vegetables or small amounts of meat. Some varieties, when stored properly in a cool, dark place, last for months. That's why they're among the first to disappear when a crisis hits. Those who secure them in advance gain a solid, reliable foundation for family nutrition.